I think maybe I have to throw away my script. Good morning. Bonjour. Buenos dias. Guten Morgen. Ohayo gozaimasu. Buongiorno. And the impossible one, good morning. Hi, teammates. Happy birthday, Interface. This is an overwhelming sight. And I can't tell you what it means to me to see such powerful assemblage. It's really staggering. And who would have thought it? Even now, especially after seeing that tape, I got a humble, frightening, halting beginning. Who would have thought it? The genesis of this meeting was over 2 years ago when two thoughts crossed paths and connected. One was that Charlie had already discovered the Grand Wailea. And he was thinking about how to use it. And the other was a rather casual remark that I made to Charlie, something to the effect that I'd always hoped that someday we could have a worldwide sales meeting. Bingo. You know Charlie. Long story short, here we are. Thank you, Charlie, for making it happen. And thank you, Chip and team, for pulling it off. And thank you again, our partners on the supplier side, for helping Charlie, Chip, and team with the money to help make it happen. Thank you. Truly, we couldn't be doing it without you and without our customers. I wish every one of them were here with us too. Now, I want to pause and right here and recognize some people who are special to me and some who were special to the beginnings of our company. And I want to ask them to stand as I introduce them. First, my wife, Pat. Pat, please stand. And my daughter, Mary Ann, and her husband, Jamie Lanier. And my other daughter, Harriet, and her husband, Phil Langford. And then, as a surprise to me, my brothers are here. Bill and his wife, Wanda, and my brother, Wiley, and his wife, Ruby. Would they please stand? They're just Billy and Bubba to me. Two of our original founding shareholders and directors, and still directors to this day, are here. Smith Lanier with his wife Betty, and Carl Gable and his wife Sally. Would they please stand? In addition to Smith and Carl, we have our other outside directors who are here. Clarine Van Andel and his wife Ali. Would they stand, please? Len Salter and his wife Shirley. Dr. June Hinton and her husband Richard. And Diane Dillon Ridgely with her son, Daisel. And then we have our inside directors, and I want to just name them and ask them to stand. Hold your applause until they're all up. Charlie Idle, of course, with Cindy. Don Russell with Marilyn. Gordon Whitener with his special friend Susie. Brian DeMuro, wife Barbara. John Walker and his wife Vicki. Dan Hendricks with Betsy. And Don Lee, Emeritus Director with wife Joanne. Thank you all. And then Bill Young is here representing BDO Seidman. Bill has been with us from the very beginning, and he's here with his wife Barb. Bill, Barb. And Kim Taylor is the senior partner with Kilpatrick and Stockton. It's hard to say that. It's hard not to say Kilpatrick and Cody. But Kilpatrick and Stockton, and he's here with Triska, his wife. Please. And then there's some special people, special to the beginnings of Interface. Al Sheehan Sr., our all-time leading salesman. Not only the best salesman I ever knew, but also a wonderful friend. And Sheila Tyre. Sheila was our first secretary, our administrative assistant, and our Girl Friday. Sheila, where are you? Please stand. And our first transplanted Englishman, Graham Scott. And Janet Amundsen, without whom I can't get along, here with her husband, Chuck. And finally, there are three really special people who cast their lots with me 24 years ago. Don Russell and Don Lee. And Joe Kyle, who's no longer with us, but for sure is watching. And he is represented here today by his wife, Jenny. I want to ask the three of them, Don, and Jenny, to come on the stage and stand by me here. Stay as they are, please. The triangle is a special structure. It's the most rigid there is. Architects all know that. And a pyramid of three triangles is a structure that will endure forever. And it sits on a triangular base. To me, this is symbolic of the interface that we built together in the early days. I have written 10,000 or more notes through the years.
All gray notes.
Yeah, gray notes and white notes and all kinds of notes. And A good third of them have gone to a fellow named Don Russell, and the note always said, to DER from RCA. To DER from RCA, with great appreciation for everything you've done, Don, for our company. Joe, this is for you. Know you're watching. Jenny, to JHK from RCA. And to Don Lee, to DHL from RCA. Now, just going back to that tape we saw a few minutes ago, I really think we owe a lot of appreciation to Light and Power, all of the people. There are too many of them to name who worked on that to distill the story of Interface from hours and hours of interviews. It was really a marvelous job, media teammates. That tape, it is the definitive account of the beginning of Interface. So what is today about? Why is it that 24 years ago this day was our company's birthday? Why did we pick April 6th? It was the day that our company was capitalized with its beginning equity of $1.25 million. Now you understand that before that there had only been an idea, a concept, a gleam in my eye, so to speak, followed by conception and gestation. We weren't born as a company until we had our equity capital in hand. From February the 12th, 1973, when I left Milliken, to April the 6th, 1973, was the scariest time in my life. We were in labor a long time, giving birth. But that equity came from 19 individuals and from Carpets International, our UK partner. Bank of Boston provided the loan capital to go with the equity, and all of that fell into place on April the 6th, 1973. It was a gratifying and a momentous time, our birthday as a company. So once again, happy birthday, Interface. Now, I want to be sure to understand, to recognize that in our midst today, we have associates that represent Interface subsidiaries that are older than the parent Interface itself. And I'm not unmindful of you, not at all. I'm very grateful for you, every one of you. But the beginnings that I refer to, the birthday of our company, it's the day that the direct predecessor of Interface Incorporated, Carpets International Georgia, Inc., was born. Now that tape was about then and there, and this is here and now. Today, 24 years later, we draw the curtain on the past. We taken great pride in our humble, frightening, halting beginning, and in the fact that we survived and prospered beyond anybody's expectation. But looking ahead, looking at where we go from here. Again, don't misunderstand, I'm the proudest and the most appreciative of anyone of the efforts that every single individual in this assembly and those we've left at home tending the shop have made toward our success thus far. I'm proud, very proud of my own part in that success. But our work together is not finished. For starters, here's a spooky and fascinating thought, which came to me from Diane Dillon Ridgely, our newest director. From today, April 6, 1997, it is exactly 1,000 days until the new millennium. How about that? Does it send shivers up your spine? However, I personally am projecting ahead to still another day, somewhere out there that will come soon enough, a day from which I will be looking back again, but then at the company I will be leaving behind. So today I'm thinking of that company that I want to leave behind. What will this child of mine be in its mature years? What will it be positioned to be when I am gone? When it is the age that I was when it was born, 38. When it is the age I am today, 62. When it is the age I will be when I die, but hopefully it is still going strong. Like any parent with a child prodigy for a son or a daughter, I want it to realize its potential, to grow up to be a virtuoso, to be as good and successful as it can be. But what does that translate into for Interface? What is good for a company like ours? What is successful for a company like ours? 9 to 10 years ago, I began to try to define those qualities in terms of vision, mission, strategy, goals. I articulated my vision, Interface, the first name in our field, and a mission to deliver superior value to our customers and thereby to maximize shareholder value and employee satisfaction, and a strategy to diversify and integrate worldwide and become a global force in our industry, and a goal to reach $1 billion in sales, a distinctly understated goal, as we've already exceeded it. Thank you. Now, those definitions have served us well, I think, but about 3 years ago, in a burst of insight that came from that epiphanal experience when I read Paul Hawkins' book, The Ecology of Commerce, that version of our vision, mission, and strategy seemed somehow no longer to be quite adequate. First name in our field, for example, couldn't our field of commercial and institutional interiors be broadened in another dimension to include industrial ecology as well, and a respect for Mother Earth? Couldn't our mission to deliver superior value to our customers be enlarged to include in the concept of value the long-range good of planet Earth, in the sense of striving towards sustainability, that is, learning to meet our needs in this generation without depriving future generations of the means of meeting their needs, without robbing our children and grandchildren and theirs of their futures, and even beyond, to becoming restorative, putting back more than we ourselves take, and doing good, not just no harm to Earth, through the power of our influence on others, our suppliers, even our competitors. And couldn't our strategy to diversify and integrate worldwide be broadened to include diversifying our operational strategy, to include good environmental stewardship practices, and integrating those right into the way we went about our daily business, giving equal weight to place along with people and product? I thought, yes. And I challenged a small group of less than 20 people one day in August of 1994 to galvanize our company into action, to match my rhetoric with deeds, and to enlist every one of their associates in a cause to lead the entire industrial world. And they have, and you have, and we are on our way. Were you one of those there that day in August 1994? If so, I want you to be recognized for stepping into that leadership role. Please stand. Thank you. We are on our way. On our way to where? Well, I have this mental image of a mountain to climb, a mountain that's taller than Everest and infinitely more difficult to scale. The name of the mountain is sustainability, and we are only on the lowest slopes of this mountain. But we know the way to the top. We have a compass called the natural step. It defines for us the system conditions for sustainability. System conditions, what system is that? The system is the biosphere, where all life exists on Earth. That fragile shell, about 8,000 miles in diameter, the diameter of the Earth, and only about 10 miles thick, 5 miles down to the bottom of the ocean, and 5 miles up to the stratosphere, on a basketball-sized Earth, tissue paper thin and oh so fragile. The natural step gives us first-order principles for achieving sustainability in that biosphere. And we have a plan of attack, and most important, we are working the plan. As we move in the direction of that peak and we set the example, others will follow. They will follow not because they will feel altruistic or benevolent or philanthropic, or not because we feel that way, but because we will be doing so well in a pure business sense by moving up that slope that they will want some of what we've got. And of course, we'll be glad to teach them or help them to learn what we have already learned ourselves. And of course, we shall be delighted also to add them to our customer list and become customers of theirs as well. The good guys hanging out together, doing good together, and doing well, very well together by doing good. That's cool. That's 21st century cool. The invitation to our suppliers and our would-be suppliers is this: come aboard and climb this mountain with us. Your being with us on the climb is important to us and to you. Now, during this week, when I have some time in the next 3 days, I hope to talk to everybody in this audience in greater depth about what I want Interface to be, the company I want to leave behind, the prototypical company of the 21st century, with its interconnected, hooked up people, capital, processes, customer, supplier, community, place, and product. We will pierce this veil together and take a look at our future and talk about that plan of attack and how it all fits together, and you will see that it will sell, that it will be a winning strategy for Interface and for all of our partners in the climb. These are going to be wonderful days we have here together this week, inspiring days, days of learning and growing together as we celebrate one world, one family, in terms of people, place, our place, Earth, and product, everything we offer for sale to earn our livings. As we live out our very limited days on this beautiful blue planet, the third planet from a star called Sol, in a galaxy called Milky Way. When I was a child We learned a song in Sunday school. The words went like this: brighten the corner where you are. Brighten the corner where you are. Someone far from harbor you may lead across the bar. Brighten the corner where you are. And then years later, I read the somewhat more sophisticated corollary of that, the writings of Immanuel Kant, 18th century philosopher, who framed the categorical imperative, which, to paraphrase, goes like this: before you do something, consider the consequences. What if everybody did it? Brighten the corner where you are, and what if everybody did it? Throughout this program in the next few days, there will be a theme running: the power of one. The power of one. Brighten the corner where you are, and what if you did it, and you did it, and you did it? The power of one, and one, and one, and one, and you, and you, and you. What if everybody did it? We're about to see the first of those. Thank you very much. Now let's have a great meeting.